Welcome to the Alternative Information Center's weekly interview. My name is Tanya Kepler, and today we're being joined by Michel Sibony. Michel is the co-president of the Jewish-French Union for Peace, the UJFP. More information on the group is available on their website, ujfp.org. Thank you for joining us, Michel.
Thank you too.
The UJFP issued a statement recently explaining why it will not support a document called JCall, a European Jewish call for reason. Before discussing the statement, can you tell us more about JCall?
JCall is, first of all, a French call. They say they are European and they extend them to European call, but it's a very French call. It's made by Peace Now people in France. And first of all, I think it's important to place it in its context, a very European context, and not a very European context, in an international context. It wants to be a kind of parallel of J Street Call. But J Street Call emerged from the fail of the neo-conservative Bush government, and it comes with Obama's system. J Street is a Zionist Jewish call, but it is an de facto anti-conservative call. It places itself in an anti-conservative new system in the States. If you look at the signatures of the JCall, you find people who are very close to neoconservative system, like Bernard-Henri Lévy. J Street was a call against AIPAC. JCall has a very mixed signatures system where you can find Zionist left Jewish, but where you can find a lot of neoconservative Jews.
And what is the primary criticism of the UJFP of JCall?
JCall wants, first of all, to assume that Israel has to stay the Jewish state for all the Jews. They immediately speak about the attacks of a lot of enemies of outside. So we stay in the context that the Jewish state is attacked by a lot of enemies and has to be protected. The problem for them is to protect the democratic Jewish state. So the situation from today is, and they are aware of that, is attacking or the Jewish state as a democratic one, or the Jewish state as a Jewish one. I mean, the actual policy is going directly to one big state of apartheid, with Palestinians stuck in special zones and second-class citizens. They are afraid of that because, like that, Israel will not be a democratic state. So they want it separate. They want separation.
And despite the issues you're raising, some of these criticisms, do you think JCall can play a positive role? And if so, what might that be?
JCall is, in one way, it makes feel that Jews in Europe are afraid. But they are afraid to lose something that they want to keep. This is a Jewish state and democratic state. They are not ready to look at this question on the right way. And the right way is to call back the right of international law, right of return, right of Palestinians. The problem is not to be focused all the time on Jews. there is, in a way, a kind of positive thing in the fact that Jews are showing in Europe their trouble. On this trouble, we must work. It's important to show to the Jews that they have to be troubled. This is a good thing, to be troubled and to be in problem with this question. But they have to work on it with the conscience that the other exists, that the Palestinians are a partner. And they have to be considered in their rights too. For instance, I can give you an example. Right now, the OECD, I think it's like that you call it in English, is ready to integrate Israel. And to integrate Israel, they are building a very new concept. This is the economical territory of Israel. And this economical territory is including the Syrian Golan, is including the territories occupied of Cisjordania, and including East Jerusalem. Someone has to say something to that. It's a terrible way to build the big Israel, okay? Eretz Israel Agdola. JCall is saying nothing about that. JCall don't protest against that. We do protest. We are included in a European net of Jews organizations for just peace. That means about 16 organizations in 9 countries of Europe. And we violently protest against this possibility of integration, because we think the moment is not to give Israel what he wants. The moment is to pressure Israel to respect the law.
Finally, what do you see as the primary role of the Jewish solidarity groups and the international solidarity movement at large?
Jewish solidarity has to use this JCall to reason, to make the Jews think about all the question. And think about it is to open the mind to the Palestinian rights, to understand that Israel has to check its own nature in order to live in this country with Palestinian people. 2 states or 1 state doesn't matter, but an equal base, a base of equality, where the Palestinians will have similar rights like the Jewish Israelis. This is, I think, the major point that this call raises for the Jewish solidarity. The international solidarity movement has to continue the pressures on Israel and explaining the situations, the dramatical situations of the Palestinians, and work for the rights, the right application rights.
Thank you very much for joining us, Michelle. Again, I'm Tanya Kepler, and this is the weekly interview of the Alternative Information Center.